Okay, we're live now so that the family can see the brother. There I am. How you like me now? Okay. Put that away right there. All right. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Hotep, peace be with you, beloved family. Once again, we're live. And this time we're live with a special broadcast. Here later, we will have a discussion with a live panel with several notable individuals in the Black community, those that have been making leeway and have been persistent in activity to motivate, encourage, and inspire. And some have even had boots on the ground. And we want to definitely have a powerful discussion this evening. You see the title today. This is the Black We Speak Live discussion panel that we'll have. The title being "What We Really Need to Be Doing Is," and hopefully our discussion will help to explain what should come after that. I would like to begin with a simple quote, as I like to do. The quote being sourced from or attributed to an ancient adept by the name of Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu is quoted to have said, "Do the difficult things while they are easy, and do the great things while they are small. A journey of 1,000 miles must begin with a single step." And so said, again, I'm Abdul Wadud, aka Quest Man, your brother, your host this evening, and founder of Soul Journey of Life, the conscious Black social media. So, there are those who do things for show, and there are those who do things because they believe in the cause they are striving for. I want to start off, after saying that, with speaking about the population of people who live amongst us who identify themselves as whites. There are those who say they are well-meaning and that they are only trying to help our cause, that they sympathize with us, that they understand and they only wish to help. To them, I'd like to say these things. Well, well-meaning white Americans, with all due respect, there are those in their vain attempt to describe our suffering or sympathize with us. While the sympathy is well appreciated, many of you are missing the major points of our concern. For example, I once heard one of the commentators by the name of American Doofus and a guest on his show comparing so-called pro-blacks coining them as black supremacists and equating them with white supremacists. The problem here is they are not alike in the least way. One speaks with the voice of oppression, or one speaks with the voice of the oppressed, while the other speaks with the voice of the oppressor. When one reflects on the condition of blacks in America, it would be impossible for anyone with reason to think that a black person could speak oppressively in an effective way. More to my point, contrary to what many think on all sides, we have never actually been free or freed. The only thing that has happened is the white rulers of the land have lightened their oppressive need just a little and wooed us with entertainment and games. Facts. We have never been permitted to unify with our own people and establish our own, completely free of any interjection whatsoever from white people. That would be freedom. You are not free when you are still being ruled and your acts of self-determination pending the authorization of the very same people who enslaved you. Have you forgotten that, oh white people, have you forgotten that you stole us from our nation? And ever since you claim that we are free, you have made no efforts in restoring us to who we are. Many of us who descend from those who were forced to cross the Atlantic, ties to kin, land and identity severed, language erased, and knowledge of anything even close to culture for the most part have been removed and all replaced with forced indoctrination, forced labor, and forced acceptance of the way things are. The results of this is what we have inherited. And today you find yourself, us, the black nation, in a total state of confusion, self-hate, and fear of the established system. Where is our freedom from this? Where is any form of sympathy manifested in the attempts to either restore us as a people or let us go completely to determine for ourselves what it means to be free? And what of those from us who were already here when you invaded these lands? How have your so-called freedoms benefited those who you stole their land from? Has freedom restored to them what was taken, or did they lose even more? Even later in time, in the timeline of the US of A, the very event many are today protesting, for example, in Tulsa. Why hasn't a single so-called white ally stood up and pressed a legislation that would restore Tulsa to its rightful people? After all, it was the black people who had developed and cultivated a society, a thriving economical system of their own, and it is white people who took it and destroyed it and broke it down. Oh, so-called white allies, why haven't to this day you protested and pressed to restore our image in history? The very image you, your ancestors, have replaced with your own. Even to this day, you can find in encyclopedias and textbooks images that should be ours. And you know historically they are ours. But I haven't seen yet you pressed any issues in your protestations across the land to replace the face of history with ours, as it rightfully should be. In fact, to this day, you have remained silent. You have remained mute when it calls for the aid that you so proudly claim you're offering to be presented. If you haven't made any efforts towards any of these issues, not to mention real reparations, a land of our own with sufficient resources to develop ourselves, then you are not allies at all, but in fact, hypocrites, deceivers, liars. And you wonder why many of our adepts, many of our great leaders, front runners have said there is no room for the aid or for the assistance from anyone when it comes to this black unification process as it is today, except from our own. With all due respect, We hear those amongst you who say they mean well, who say they offer aid, they only mean to assist us, they only want us to succeed. We hear that. But for the time being what it is, we must stand up for our own. We must support our own. Period. You are no better than those who believe we are supposed to be subordinate, inferior, and meant to be slaves. As long as whites continue to deny us self-determination, the idea of equal rights and freedom is a lie and tied to unfavorable and unfair conditions. When you speak of us all just getting along, you are only smokescreening the fact that we are still forced to live under your dictates and are not allowed to be of our own, those of us who would desire such. Presently, you forced upon us to be persistently ignorant of who we are, our own struggle, and why it is important for us to unify while claiming to be our allies. How can you dare claim to be our allies against racism, but refuse to speak against the fact that to this day, we still do not have our own? You still have made no efforts in helping us to restore what you broke from us. You still fail our children when we do not learn your culture well in the education system that you've established. But you care little about the facts of our own culture being taught to our children, and in such a way that it would restore in them a hope of being a nation once again. The way even the well-to-do behave with regard to our struggle is little different than any other action in which they feel they need to involve themselves in with our concerns, regardless if we want their aid or not. It is not offensive per se that one sympathizes with us or wishes to offer aid, but the very aid we are asking, you seem to be naive about or not willing to acknowledge. Continuing on, there's much more that I could say about this. But this is simply, one more level of stress, one more level to our struggle that needs to be heard. Oh, so-called white allies, if you mean business, then this, if ever there was a time in the history of your story and our story, then now would be the time to show your true colors, if you have any. Otherwise, fall back. And let us be us if you're really our allies. And to those who are amongst our ranks, who constantly want to attack one another in each of our efforts, who do not see that in their effort to belittle and attack and shame one another, they are in fact counterproductive to the cause of Black unity. You also should stand down or humble yourself for the sake of Black unity. Keep that which is meant to be behind closed doors there, behind closed doors, and keep that which helps to unify Black people in the forefront. You may protest if you will, but there are others that have another agenda. I'm going to quote Grandmaster Jay, for example. We do not protest, we respond. That is the actions that some take when they have a broader agenda for nation building. You understand? As I mentioned before, if you're going to protest, you need to think about who you're protesting to. If you're protesting to the adversary, it may be that you're talking to a stone wall and wasting your time. But if you're protesting for the purpose of nation building and Blacks being unified, then why not take it to where the Blacks are at? And speak it to them and protest in a way that motivates them to join the ranks and motivates them to unify. Quit wasting time. We don't have time to waste. Get it together. We don't want to repeat history. We must not forget the clear difference, for example, between Marcus Garvey and his opponent, W.E.B. Du Bois. One was for complete Black autonomy, and the other believed in the system as it is, the establishment, and that it could be changed from within. One was in favor of blacks separating and becoming a nation of our own, and the other who was for integration and accepting the illusions that somehow we are a part of this nation. And he was a known opponent of Marcus Garvey, and he was a known person who was integral with taking Marcus Garvey down. Okay, why am I saying this? Because we have to acknowledge these type of people, because they're still out there. Yes, they may be scholarly. Yes, they may be professional. Yes, they may be in the forefront in their own right. But if there are other people who are trying to keep things as they are not in any way a part of this team, and they are not helpful. They are definitely critical against our cause. Counterproductive. If we are ever a part of this nation, if we were ever a part of this nation, this is for those who think that somehow if we get into the ranks of politics, if we get ourselves seats of government and seats of this, that somehow we will be able to turn things around. Maybe in some distant future or whatnot. But if history has anything to say, when you are working in a system that was never designed for us to begin with, okay, I'm going to quote Albert Einstein here, of all people, when you perpetually do a thing seeking for something different to happen, that is a case of insanity. If we were ever a part of this nation, we would not have to vote to be treated equally. We would not have to vote and protest for basic human rights. We would not have to vote to be able to grow and style our hair according to its nature, or to be what it means to be black. You don't have to vote to be a human being. We would not have to march for permission to be black. When you are a part of something, the turf is equal for all. Equal rights for all, period. By default. And all members are acknowledged as the same. That's when the system is made equal for everyone. Clearly, it's not the case here. So either we wake up and realize what we have to do, or you stay asleep and keep on allowing them to woo you with their entertainments and prizes and games. Dear beloved black family, it's time that we start becoming more doers than sayers. You see, many of us are so conditioned to being entertained that even as we watch this live that you see here today, many people may be on the stream for entertainment or to hear hype. You understand? But there are those of us who take this seriously. We're for real about this. This is not a game. This is not a joke. We want black unity. We want nation building. We want our own. We want that which we have never been allowed ever since the Declaration of Freedom has been broadcast across the land, and we haven't benefited from it in the least way. Just because you're allowed to be entertained to death with your basketball, with your Netflix, with your this, that, and the other, that still doesn't qualify you as being free when you still haven't been able to have the right to self-determination to this day, when the very people who've enslaved you are still ruling over you, and you have no ability to break the chains and the yoke from these people. You're not free. Today, beloved black family, we have a live discussion panel, and the hope is that we will be able to break bread and build and design and erect something that is active in the community, and not simply more talk, more online YouTube broadcasting, but that all these things work hand in hand, and there are things that we can visually see that, hey, the black family is doing something. We've noticed this taking place, manifesting in the black militia known as the NFAC, where action was taking place. Physical, in your face, you can see it. Black people standing up, making moves, making a difference in their life. Similarly, within the heart of the community where the people live, where the nations live, where the black family lives, we need to start doing actual things in the community that make a difference. We need to do more than just talk and have live broadcasts. We need to be boots on the ground in the neighborhood as well. So, there are many concerns within the community today. And the thing that I often notice as the least spoken about is what concerns our youth, what concerns the essential needs of our youth. We see the talk being mostly about demonstrating our rights, and we are in a position to where we need to be doing that. But we also need to pay close attention to the circumstance, to the environment, to the conditions of our children. Because one of the primary targets of our enemy, who seeks to keep us divided and conquered, is to target our children. So it is our children that we need to put the most of our effort, the most of our energy into finding solutions and manifesting those solutions. Recently, I've been looking at many things, and hopefully during this talk, I will be able to ask the questions that need to be asked, and we will be able to communicate in a way that brings us closer to real solutions. We want to continue on the realness that's already been motivating us and inspiring us. You can't deny that the presence of the NFAC in the United States has motivated many blacks across the land to stand up where previously or before then, nobody was standing up in the way that they should. Now people from all corners of the country, even all corners of the globe, are standing up and speaking and communicating in a way that they previously weren't done. So you have to go to the root of the inspiration. You have to go where it was stimulated from, and you have to give credit where credit's due. You have to give respect where respect's due. You have to give honor and appreciation where it's due. Stop hating. Stop hating when you know that even you have been inspired. When you know that even you can see the proof in the pudding. Where you know that even you can see black family all across the globe standing up finally. With that said, we'll try to keep things within a time frame if we can. And I'm going to prepare us for this live panel and introduce everybody. Give me a moment. While we wait, you know what it is.
In this life we have only one tribe. Only one tribe.
Must have a liberation. United black comedic nation. That's the situation.
Black sisters to the right, black brothers to the left. Original gold, black fist against my chest. Brave, bold, and cold. They be the warriors. Salute to the soldiers. Salute to the soldiers. Black unity, black family. It's time for you and me to start the gathering. Just be black, unite, we clap black. Little rock and roll, stay on cold. Gotta have that. NFAC operation, nation fish. United black principles. In its sense, all for the pride of the people. Breaking the chains of the evil. Devilish dust to well as dream. Breaking the chains of the in. 400 years of pain. Insane always come to an end. But when we get strong, come marching on your lawn. Signs of the last day, what you waiting on? Come together, one million. Get together, 1 million. We come together, 1 million strong. And it's all aboard again. Come together, 1 million. We got to get together, 1 million. When we come together, 1 million strong. And it's all aboard again. Come together, 1 million. We got to get it together, 1 million. may try, we gotta rise. Restore the black family, strengthen ties, strengthen ties, strengthen ties. Holy fair, let not you despair. Remember who you are by the wool of your hair, the bronze of your skin from the head to the feet. 1 million strong black soldiers in the streets, unbiased to the west, setting in the east. The God of my chest against the mark of the beast. 1 million strong, we all I need is speak. We all we need to put out God is unity. 1 million strong, come together. 1 million strong, get together. 1 million strong, we come together. 1 million strong, it's not a war. Come together. 1 million strong, get together. 1 million strong, we come together. 1 million strong, it's not a war. Come together. 1 million, we got to get it together. 1 million.
Okay, beloved black family, we are here, and I'm going to go ahead and bring us to our live. Let me remove some items off of the screen. Let's see here. I think all I have to do is this. Okay. Just a little patience with your brother. Okay. Okay, as you brothers and sisters can see, this live is being presented to you by Sojourney of Life, the Conscious Black social media. And you can, if you are a subscriber to Sojourney of Life, you can actually view this directly from Sojourney of Life by going to the Light Dome and clicking the Black We Speak and watch the live broadcast directly. Or you can continue watching it from YouTube if that makes you feel better. So give me a second here to go to our live. And hopefully you'll watch me and you'll see how this is done. So you could do the same thing if you're logged into Sojourney of Life. There we are. There we are. Yes. All right. Let me go to that, and we'll go ahead and welcome him into the room as well. All right. There's Major TV. All right. We're there. We're here. We're doing it. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. I got to make sure that the family can hear you. Okay. All right. Can everybody in the live in the YouTube? Can everybody on YouTube hear? Let me know if you can hear on the YouTube. All right. Give me a second here. Okay, so we got that going on. You can hear the live? Can you see you on the panel now? All right. And I need to make sure that everybody that's in the on YouTube watching is able to hear the people in the panel. Let's see here. If not, let's see. I might have to. All right, 1 second here. 1 second. All right. Let's see here. We've got that. All right. We should be able to go to the desktop.
Done your, you just
Well,
blew it
no,
up.
well, I just received the photo and I just put it up on my.
They should be able to hear you now.
Background. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So, family in the YouTube panel, if you can hear, give me an ear.
No, can't hear nothing. Oh, now we can hear.
Okay.
Now we can hear. You're set.
All right. Cool.
Let me go on mute.
Okay. Welcome, Black family. Welcome, Black family. I want to introduce everybody, viewers. So hang tight. We're gonna go. I guess we're gonna go in order from top to right. Right. So first, you got your beloved brother, Abdul aka Questman. As you know, you may not know, I'm a brother, born and raised in Ohio. Now I live in Cleveland, Ohio. And my background consists of consists of doing all kinds of activities that deal with creativity. You understand? I've been involved in performance arts. I've been involved in all kinds of things of that nature. And I was inspired to get back into the YouTube. Look, I've got actually quite some videos on YouTube. Mostly dealing with my post as an email in the community. Right. But I have to admit that our beloved brother Grandmaster Jay started talking the talk and walking the walk. And so I had to snap out of and wake up too. He's getting up. I might as well get up too. You know what I mean? With the boots on the ground. So that's me. Continuing forth to the right is my beloved Black Queen, Ramata. And about her, she's a student of verbalism with a persistent passion to encourage proper nutrition, nutritional habits, emphasis, right. Raised up strong cultural values, and she loves drafts. Okay. So with that said, we're going to continue on to the next. Star Child 7, advocate for black empowerment, black enrichment, and the concept of Ubuntu. She's a Navy veteran, cybersecurity business owner, STEM supporter for black youth in IT, and a second advocate. And we have our beloved sister Veronica, who's worked in education for over 20 years. Wow. Dual bachelors in special and elementary education and a master's in education. A teacher at a school moving struggling students to be proficient with their peers. And she lives in a community that she teaches black children has a purpose with purpose. That's Veronica. And then we have our brother right here. Major TV. And y'all have known him, been knowing him, and making a major across the media platform. Major TV, putting boots on the ground, turning words into action. He has become known across YouTube and even the Black militia, the NFAC, honest and to the point talks, as well as boots on the ground. Meeting with the NFAC in person. In a day and age where there's so much misinformation circulating in the black community, we most definitely appreciate the presence of one not afraid to tell it like it is. And we have our conscious mind, our conscious brother, OCTheGreat, who has a very deliberate, passionate, spiritual, God-conscious way of communicating across the network. And we definitely appreciate him being able to stand
strong
in the face of various opponents
who
like to try to
not only challenge
those who were manifesting leadership, such as Grandmaster J,
but have also even
confronted him. And he's remained strong and bold every step of the way. Then we have our beloved sister, Achotispeaks. And as we've known, she is a professional personnel in the real estate industry. Very communicative, and she is also manifested the boots on the ground, making sure she is there when it needs to be a person, an eye in the black family, seeing the scene as it is playing out. Then we have last but not least, our beloved sister, rocking the minds, bodies every day. On live YouTube. On YouTube. We have K Money, the Black Queen, the Black Sister, supporter of Grandmaster J out of Montreal, Canada, pushing the positivity and unity message worldwide. Welcome, beloved Black family.
Black power.
Get your brother.
Yes, indeed. So
Questman, can I interject? I got it from the chat that you are echoing. So there is another device that's on as well. Yes, you're echoing in not Facebook, YouTube.
Okay,
you are echoing.
Resolve that by.
Okay. Okay, you should be straight.
She's on mute. Have to unmute.
Okay. So I was saying that my definition, herbalism is the practice of using certain plants as medicine, and it's used to be prescribed as remedies for medical conditions. That's what I define as herbalism.
Okay. So, what are some of the common, if you can't tell us, what are some of the common health problems affecting the Black community today?
Well, the three most common health problems affecting the Black community that I know of is heart disease, high blood pressure, and diabetes, and these are mainly caused by diet and drug use.
So, wow. So, it's diabetes. I've definitely heard about it.
Yes.
So, what would be the best diet that we could, embrace that would help us counteract these problems, these health problems?
Oh yeah. Well, I believe that the best type of diet is one where less is more. Like less heavy meat in one's diet is better. And eating smaller portions of food each day is also beneficial for preserving your health.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I have here. Sure. So, what are the benefits of turning to herbs, since you're dealing with herbalism? What are some of the benefits? Why would the black family be encouraged to turn to herbs for treatment instead of pharmaceutical medicine?
Uh, well, for me, the main benefit of turning to herbs instead of pharmaceutical medicine is that when treating any illness, the herbal treatment works like that. It gets to the root of the disease, and it gives cure to the disease, you know. Or and the results are more lasting than the pharmaceutical medicines. And pharmaceutical medicines are more temporary, and it gives instant results, like for symptoms, but it's more temporary. It doesn't get to uh, the root of the problem. Um, yeah, it's a temporary relief for the problem.
So,
Yeah.
would you say that like herbal herbs are more nutritional than pharmaceutical medicines? And pharmaceutical medicines give you like instant results, no real nutritional value.
Yes, because with herbs, it gives control back to the body, but with the pharmaceutical medicines, those kinds, it takes control away from the body.
Okay. Now, let's see here. And I want to emphasize the reason why I want to go about dealing with the herbology first and things of that nature, because I believe that our effort as our struggle to build up as a nation, to unify, starts at home. It starts with our own self care. You understand? When we build as a people, it starts within. If you're healthy, if your body is healthy, you think better. You understand? If you think better, you can see better, the situation in the black community. You can see our concerns better. And you can contemplate better solutions. You understand what I'm saying? So that is why I want to start off. The other reason why I wanted to start off that way is because you start with the people who are closest to you first. First yourself, then the person who's nearest you. You understand? Your husband, your wife, your children. You understand? That's where the building blocks of the black community start. It doesn't start, you can't, how are you going to go outside and speak of and boast of unification when your house is broken? Your health is broken. You understand? That would be a contradiction, and you would only suffer failure at some point. So we have to start our unification process at home, bodily, at home, physically. You understand? At your actual home. So hopefully that will had a benefit to hear. Now let's continue forward because now we're going to dig into some more questions directly to the panel itself in general. Now I'm going to sort of Russian roulette style pick a person and I'm going to shoot a question at you. Now these may be direct questions, and answer them, or pass them on to the next personnel. And I say personnel because we're a discussion panel right now, and we're each representing a community voice. You understand? Personnel. So, dear sister, get money. I see you smiling here, so I'm going to throw this one at you. What does
Come
it
on
mean
with it.
to you to just be black?
No, you got frozen. I didn't hear the question.
Okay.
I think, yeah, my
What does
mic's
it
on.
mean to you just to be black?
Uh, for me to just be black, I'm going to say this. Before Grandmaster Jay came on the scene and made us proud to be black, seeing all that power out there, for me, just being black was just, I'm a black woman and I would just be more silent. But when I saw that power, I was proud to be black again. It showed me who I was, who we are. We are a strong black unit and we need to come together. So that's what it means to me. We need to be proud of our blackness. Just be black. Black comes in all shades. A lot of people will look at me and say, "Oh, you're not black." Oh, I beg to differ. My mama black, my daddy black. Now, where am I not black? Come in all shades, and we need to be proud of who we are.
OC, you might want to keep your mic on because it looks like it's off like that. OCTheGreat. I'm going to do the same question. What does it mean to just be black?
Yeah, for me, that's more of a unity question, because we as a society have a problem with actually building with each other. I think we know exactly what happened when it comes to slavery and different things that happened in our generation. So when it comes to just being black, I would like to see someone of my color skin building with me, doing different things with me. No matter if it's all black school, if it's an all black, let's just say car company, all black, whatever, I would like to see just like Black Wall Street, how they had in Black Wall Street, all black everything, like just be black, because a lot of times when it comes to any other race, they may not have the best agenda that's going to support our overall, well-being where we need to go as a people. So that's what just be black for me. But of course, I also think about there's a lot of black people that actually celebrate this system that we live in, so we can't really build with every black people. But I would like for that to happen, and I'm sure eventually that would happen once we tear down this system that we live in, which is called white supremacy. So, but yeah.
Yes, indeed. Okay, I'm going to put the same question about you, Ramata. You have about that? What does it mean to just be black?
For me, it's to not be ashamed of yourself and to not hate yourself or anyone that is like you. That's it.
Okay, that's good. Now, we got a brother on the road. I got a throw question your way. Yes, indeed, Major TV. So, Brother Major, what is the same page that we should all, in your opinion, what is the same page that we should all be on right now?
The same page?
Yeah.
I believe it's about billing. Hashtag turn word into action. I believe we talk too much. Mm-hmm. I believe there's too many examples like Devin, Georgia, the world that we never heard of a former NBA player that was like a role player, and this guy is doing so much we never heard of him, right? And you listen to the formula, how he's doing things and what have you. And anyone on this panel could have done that, right? Yeah. And I just feel like a lot of time we just talk. We have these symposiums, we have these meetings we having right now, and they stop right there, Yeah. And that's why I push financial literacy and I push billing, because this what we fail to understand is white people learn from us. Now we have to learn from them, because somewhere down the line we got dumbed down, we got lost in the process, and now we were not seeing what's really going on. And for me, I'm like, you have to know how to play the game and be on code without even showing your hand. I watched this guy do a whole interview on Kwame Brown and never say nothing about racial discrimination. It's all about talking about building black. And sometimes we give too much power to saying this racism and discrimination, and it's more of a mind thing than it actually happens. Because we so programmed that automatically anything that's against the power system, we're already programmed to react to it, right?
Right.
So just because the door closed on me a lot, and look at me drive 18 wheelers, right? Yeah. And I'm saying so much of things that's happening that in our mind because we know what it is. It's a mental blockage to prevent us from moving forward. You feel me? But we give more power to it just saying it, thinking about it, opposed to really showing us how to get around it, how to beat it, because it can be beat. You feel me? But it's gonna take a strong effort. And as you can see around the world, that's what's going on with black people standing up and demonstrating that. Now we gotta bring. That's why when I did the live yesterday, what we seen the last 30 days, we seen power. But it's all scattered out. We can come together, it'll be different. But I feel like we gotta really put boots on the ground and take care of business. Because once they exhibit one more thing, once they exhibit the black militia aspect of standing up and defending ourselves, and trying to get our community together, now it's time to take it forward and reference to building it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So yeah.
So let me ask, Cody, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Shalom again, my brother.
This is the Shalom, dear sister. So, based upon what Major said, we need to be doing more than just talking. What I would like to do is there something that we could do that would represent, that being manifested? What can we do, like in the immediate future, like within weeks, that would show us being more than just about talking? And it would be something that would be an action that we can actually do, and it would be the type of action that would bear fruit, proper fruit. What could we do? What can we do like now, as a people, not as an individual, as a people?
Right now, you can start with the people that you have on this panel. From my understanding, each of us have a different background. Some of us have share the same background. We need to network. When we hear of, first of all, we need to share our information with each other, so that we're always in contact. When we come across information, we can immediately share that information, because it's very important that we change the narrative, right? Yeah. So we understand who controls the media. That would be the Khazars. They own the media. And right now they are controlling the narrative to whereby the people that I say are still asleep and are not conscious to what's really going on. I say that they are being lullabied deeper into sleep. And some of us who are supposedly woke, who are still receiving our information from the mass media, are being lullabied back to sleep. What I say to them is that we on this panel need to start creating the narrative and supporting the narrative. If OCTheGreat is promoting something, then Major TV needs to promote it, K Money needs to promote it, Okoti needs to promote it, and anybody who has a YouTube channel or a Facebook page or Instagram page need to promote that same narrative, so that their narrative is not what is exploited in our people, and our people are receiving this information and going by that. You see, that's the whole issue with our brother Grandmaster Jay. Everybody got on that bandwagon when the media wanted to paint him as someone that was out for Second Amendment rights and just wanting to promote that narrative, when actually he was about protecting his people. Yeah. And we did not do a good enough job as Black media or people who are privy to a social media platform of pushing that narrative back at them, that no, this is not about everybody being able to carry a gun. This is about protecting Black people, period, because it's the cops and the government that have targeted us as a people. So what we can do, to answer your question, my brother, right, what we can do is start supporting those people who are doing things positively with boots on the ground. People who are on this panel probably have social media channels, probably have Facebook pages, things of that nature. Support your people. Mm-hmm. That's what we can do immediately.
I have a suggestion then. With everybody that's on this panel, and even the people that are in the live, okay, but particularly this panel, or as it is right here. Suppose we utilize
Soul Journey of Life as a platform to check in, you understand, and update each other on the different things that we are doing in our calls, exactly what you're speaking about. And it becomes a nexus so that way, if we're updating each other there, then we can take the same information and keep on echoing it in our own platforms such as Facebook and YouTube and so on. But it becomes a nexus for where we all are checking in. You understand? And by doing this, we're keeping each other updated. Hey, we still exist, we're still here, we're still involved. You understand what I'm saying? Pardon my son in the background, pounding on the door. So we're still involved, and it becomes a way for us to communicate directly to each other, even if you just put something there, you put an update there, you're constantly updating what you can, when you can, and you carry on. The other thing that I suggest is that the family needs to meet. We need to physically meet each other. It was a pleasure to meet Brother Major TV, in person. You understand? Where I got to see you, brother. We got to talk. We got to chop it up. It's different than like this here.
Yeah.
I'm old fashioned where, I'm used to actually, talking and chopping it up with people face to face. You understand? But I understand, like the brothers on the road right now. Each of us are in different locations. We got the sister in Canada. You understand? So we do what we can. And that's why I'm saying, we need to have a unified platform to where we can guarantee go to, and we know everybody's going to be there. We know everybody's going to check in there. Because everybody may not have a YouTube, everybody may not have a Facebook, but if everybody has something in life, then you know what it is. Sister Veronica, check in, post something, let us know. Blog, say, speak. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, money. Star Child 7. Everybody's putting something in where you know that, hey, they're still alive, they're still breathing, they're still active, they're still functioning. You understand? So that's just a suggestion. I want to ask the family, could everybody agree to something like that? The Making Soul Journey of Life, basically your basis of social operation. It's not taking you away from IG, it's not taking you away from YouTube, it's not taking you away from Facebook or whatever, but it's your base of operation. If you just put a statement like, hey, I'm alive. Okay.
I think that's unfair though.
You understand what
I
I'm
think
saying?
then it's unfair what you asking on a real, because I've been working with you with your website for a minute. We've been having issues. And it's not like people don't want to support you, but you do have malfunction issues. And I'm still waiting for you to show me how to get my platform on that. So I think you actually commit us to something that's really premature as far as the manifestation what you're trying to do. And me personally, I'm still waiting to help me.
So, okay, what we'll do is this, okay, because like when we realize that we actually, if whatever the issues are, we can break down those issues, work out those issues, and see if we can clear that up. As far as your website, like I said, there'll be things that, I'll be able to do based upon what I know. And then when it goes outside of that, we'll have to try to, see if we can get somebody else on board to help us out. So we can work on that. But I want to see if we can agree in principle upon this particular thing. Because it lives, I'm talking about the platform, based upon us making it useful and relevant. You see, the thing is that if there are any issues with the site itself, sometimes that's the result of I have to retract some of the functions because they cost. You understand? And if I'm not able to support it on my own, I have to retract the function that hinders the platform. Okay. So what I'm saying is that we're all actively going to use it, then of course that would mean that I'll be more motivated to keep those elements alive. Now.
So can I interject? I think what the brother is trying to get us to do is commit to maybe one day out of the week where we all get together and we say, what's up, what's going on in your hood, what you're doing, you know, how you're moving forward with the community, what can we do to come together as a group to do some things, and that would be done offline. I think that's what the brother is trying to allude to. Some things are not meant for the live platform, which we're on right now, and I'm sure many people in the live chat right now will agree. And so I think what the brother is just looking for is a commitment for us that's in this live chat on his stream right now that has been invited guests as panelists to just commit to going over to souljourneyoflife.org at least once a week and coming together as a group and utilizing the platform and share information and build on that platform. So if everybody can put a 1 in the chat and put a thumbs up in the stream yard to say that's what we're gonna do. Yeah,
I do have
let's
to.
do that.
I do apologize for interrupting, but I do have to say something. Some of us are very busy. Like I have a lot on my plate right now. As far as me committing to anything, I have a lot on my plate. I understand what you're trying to do, and I love your platform. I haven't been able to go into Soul Journey of Life as yet because I have a lot on my plate right now. But for me personally, I'm spread too thin. I have my family, my NFAC family. I'm spread too thin. I cannot commit to
how about
anything.
this, family?
Yes.
How about this? Even if you just said, I'm doing well, that lets us know that K Money is still on board, still involved in this particular. This is a committee right here, and it just keeps us up to date. Hey, K Money is here.
I reach out to you. I reach out to you, Soul Journey. You know that. So this is why I reach out to you and let you know. People, I'll see what I could do. I'm not taking it off the board. It's just right now my plate is full. It doesn't have to be something super complex. If you're in Canada, take a picture of the mountains or something. You understand? I don't live in the mountain, honey. I live in the city.
So what I'm hearing you say, brother, is that you're trying to formulate a committee, and basically you're trying to do the groundwork by just saying, hey, this platform is here, and if everybody can kind of just check in, live here, I just want to make sure everybody's still committed, and let's build it from there, from the ground up.
Yes.
Okay.
Grassroots.
I'm in.
Let me interject something. You've been pushing it. You've been pushing it for longer. I'm about to get on here. Just fuss that shit. Let it grow. People gonna come around to it. You keep pushing and pushing. People coming around. We on the platform. Well, like I know how you feel. Wait, but I know how you feel. It's like you're redundant with it. People see you now. You come around.
I'm responding to the need that we're expressing right now. I believe that if we're going to talk about developing something for all the people that are on this panel right here, okay, then that's the starting point. It's not about, it's not a random push. It's a direct push. You're here right now. We're live. We're talking right now. This is the type of action that needs to develop into what we're talking about. And what better place to do it than our own platform?
Brother, but sometimes, you see, you have a selfish intent with it, and that's my only problem with it. I know you have a platform. You want black people to support it. I get it. I want people to support my online ministers and what have you. I just can't make nobody support it. And I told you over and again, every time you just talk about it, it's like you gotta let it just happen. I tried to be a platform 2-3 times. Listen, I wasted like 3-4 hours just messing around with you and didn't get nothing right. I ain't benefiting not one time, and I was pissed. I never really came at you sideways about it. I'm saying, but sometimes he was talking like we was in Louisville. You just kept talking and talking. I'm like, bro, you just said it like 4 or 5 times to me. Won't you understand that black people take a minute to gravitate to you? You got to be consistent, and you got to be redundant in your action for what you're doing. As far as committing to the website, I believe.
Did I hear you say you didn't benefit from something? Did I hear you say that?
Is the very reason.
Wait a second.
I agree with what you're saying, because what this is why we need to committee is so that we can present our issues like this.
in this type of setting, in this type of arena. We need our own element. It's not see. I would agree that there's a selfishness if I was benefiting from this somehow, but I don't receive any rewards or pay or nothing. I'm simply trying to create something that we can come together like water polo, like droplets coming together to form a polo of water, so that we can all see each other, communicate with each other, and be on the same page. It doesn't make any sense when me and you can talk, or I might tap in and talk with OC, or chat with Free Money when she's dropping the music. But we need to have an active basis of operation. You understand?
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Can I ask you this, brother? Do you have a kind of a charter, an objective, like what purposeful function? What I know, like my people used to say, you can't fall from the floor. So from the floor, where are we going from the floor? Okay. What's our purpose?
That will be based upon each of our skills, because each of us have different talent. They just got profound talent. Okay, Money, OC, all the people on this panel have got unique talent. So we would have to organize ourselves in a way where we can see who's going to do what and how. And like I said, this becomes our way, our outlet to communicate that with each other. You understand? It simply becomes a center of operation. That's it. So that whatever we're trying to do, whatever we're trying to get up off the ground, we have a basis for doing that.
Understood.
That's free from, mainstream social media. That's what's happening here.
I agree. I'm not interjecting. I agree, but still, you have to get that platform together. I'm being real with you. You have to get it together. Listen, you have to get it together. You keep talking, but you're not hearing what I'm telling you. Me and you did this a couple of times. That way, I was trying to understand. You still left me hanging. You messed up 2 of my lives. I never complained about anything. You have to understand that you asking a lot of somebody right now. My lower got me behind, so I'm driving trucks. I'm supposed to be in my office doing this, right? And I'm just saying to say this here. I don't have the time to do half the stuff I do, but I make the time. But you asking, and you're requesting. You keep pushing it out, and I'm like, I was in it. I mean, you and Cole on the phone together. We talked to make sure the numbers. Now let's be real. We talk sometimes. Hours sometimes. So it's not like, what I'm saying, we don't communicate. I'm just saying on some real stuff. If black people see stuff ain't 100, they're going to probably not support it 100 or get behind it, because things around us is moving like this. Now, I'm not saying it's right that they shouldn't support it. I'm just saying you have some issues with it.
Okay, let me give you an example of Cody, our sister of Cody, right? To respond to that, let me give you an example of sister of Cody. We came up with an agreement. As you may not know, but she has been creating a podcast, right? Like a daily devotion, right? And part of what's helped that happen is she herself has put an investment in it so that it stays alive. See, what you're asking for, I have been striving to do with the means that I have. You look and you see this brother is one person with one wallet. You understand? So in order for you to expect more out of something, you have to realize that it's not like Wix website creator. This is a bigger website. This has more involved. There's more tools, and each of those tools cost money. So sometimes when I can't afford it, because like I said, I'm one person, I have to withdraw those functions, and as a result, you get some of the dilemma that you're dealing with because I can't afford it by myself. Okay, you can't ask me to do more if nobody's willing to participate in funding it. You understand? It's a big website. So in order to ask me to do more in the quality of the website, put some dollars in it, and guess what? The quality improves because there's somebody helping to pay for it and support it. But
why you don't do it part by part though?
Huh?
Why you don't do it by part by part? Why you trying to do everything at one time?
It's not.
Why you don't do it part by part?
It doesn't look.
We're getting away from the
I've been involved in IT work.
All right, oh good. Let's change the conversation, man.
Yeah. Can we change the subject?
We're getting away from it. The gist of it is we are trying to come together. Everybody, I'm going to say this. Everybody has growing pains. Everybody. You have major issues on your platform, Major. I have issues on mine. We all have issues. That's not the issue here. We're just trying to come together.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's just come together and move on.
Look, let me explain what this is, okay, buddy? Let's say I find a house, right? Let's say I find an old house. And the house has got broken windows and everything. But what was the family looking for? A house. Okay. I said, look, I got the house, but we're gonna have to fix it up together. I can't buy the windows and the doors and the shingles all by myself. But the house is here. Come on in. Let us get together, unified, and it becomes our house.
Can I interject? Hello, hi.
Yes. Yes,
So I had gotten an invitation from Soul Journey a while ago, and I did join. I am a member of Soul Journey. My only issue was with my password; it just wouldn't accept what I wanted it to accept. But as an educator, I can and I've gone in there and I've seen other people's platforms. Some people are Drive, some people are on stores. You know, we're first of all, I looked at it to see what the Black businesses were. So I could see my hair care products, my skincare products, who in the panel, who in the Soul Journey is a part of that I can make that connection, and I can, and you know, OCTheGreat, whatever, whoever's in there. So my only issue was getting into the platform. However, as an educator, I would put in, you know, the summer's coming, what tips we have for the elementary kids to get them going, and so on and so forth. So that's what I see it for, as a connector, as where we can have our own issues and put out things. You know, maybe there's somebody I'm in the DMV area. Maybe I want to offer some tutoring and things. I would have that connection to the people in the DMV area. So that's my thing, is to make connections to whom is doing what. I don't know. You again, just to make those connections and those business connections and start spending our money within ourselves. That's what we need to do. Yeah, we talk too much. We're talking too much right now. Let's get to the point of building our community up. And let me just do my spiel, because I prepared for it. So as an educator, and why I agreed to come on and say hello, because I don't have a platform. I'm a Black woman. I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother. I'm an educator, and I'm just Black. So I'm here, and I want to know. I think I saw a clip of OCTheGreat with some children, and I didn't know if you were an educator or not. I was, you know, sneaking at work, looking at something and something else. So that's what I want to know. I wanted to know what that connection was. You know, you looked like you were doing some things, a lot of social emotional things with the children, which is right up my alley. Moving out of this virtual pandemic form, eventually going back to face-to-face interaction with the children. I just had my evaluation today, and one of the things that I proposed to my principal is that when those children are in front of our school doors, they need to come into a welcoming environment. And let me correct you, Mr. Soul Journey, I am a Black educator that I teach Black children on purpose, with purpose. So what that means is that when they pull up to the first day of school, all of the Black faces that I see, because I am in a predominantly Black school in a Black neighborhood with Black children, Black families. My school was founded to have that connection with the police officers in this county. They're not supposed to be coming up there to break fights. They're supposed to be coming up there to bring pencils, snacks, come sit down and read a book with the kids. So this is what I am doing to prepare for our exodus and for our children. They know exactly who NFAC are, because their teacher teaches them. Their teacher teaches them. Their parents know, because their teacher tells them. So this, like today, and let me hurry up and not take up all your time. I'm not a math person. I believe in my heart of hearts that my white teachers and teachers in general deviate children from mathematics and science. So even though I still have that fear of it, my children excel in math and science in my classroom. I just introduced them to coding. I don't even know what it is, but I went and researched it and gave it to them. So that is what just being Black means to me. That is what being a part of your platform, when it get together, means to me, is that I can go in there and put in this information. I can go in there and remind parents that we run the school. We run the Board of Ed, not the Board of Ed, not Joe Biden's wife. We run it. Okay, if you don't want your kid to get vaccinated, they don't get vaccinated. If you don't want your kid in school, teachers can't work. I bet you they'll run up in you. You understand what I'm saying? I know for a fact right now that going into the summer, and when we have these little summer positions, there are 600 positions that I know of in a county. and they only have 200 people that signed up, because you know what happened during the pandemic? We found out that we have talents and we can open up our own businesses. So that's a lot what's going on. And that's what I hope is in the panels, in the platform. I need personally, I need farmers. I need to know where I can go get some food in my area. I need to know who the herbalists are when they don't want to let me in the hospital or whatever the case may be. I need to know where to find major TV if I got to make a dip real quick somewhere, hop in the back of that truck or something. You know, and that's how this is how I teach. This is how I speak to my kids. I'm just raw like that. That's that New York Jamaican in me. So that's all I got. So, like I said, I will work for room and board, because I know there may come a time where I'm going to have to. Hey, I'm not taking it. So what's up? You know. So that is why I'm here. I'm here to. And I'm impressed. I didn't know I was going to be in the company of the greats and the K Monies and all these other people. But this is what I'm doing. I am. Oh, hold on. Let me get my thing together. I have planted the seed in the soldiers that are coming. Okay, I'm dealing with the future every day. You know, I got my little library here. They give me these bullshit. They give me these books in school, but I go out and I got my own library for my children that I take care of. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and not only that, it's not a smooth sailing road, because we have people who come in as volunteer readers, and a nice old Caucasian lady thought that if she went and found a book of South Africa, the only book that she could find was about the poor children. Then I had to come up out of my classroom and get up out of there. You understand? So this is how I'm showing my blackness and being black and helping to raise our future and get everybody ready, you know? So I understand, you know, and all this testosterone up in here, but we
Let me ask you this
bring it
question.
down.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, before I ask you this question to the sister in the line, I'm not putting anybody on mute. Everybody, if they're on mute, not because I put them on mute. They might have put themselves on mute. But everybody should be able to communicate. If they put themselves on mute, you can unmute yourself if you want to. Otherwise, that's the reason why we need to go mute. All right. So, the question is. Okay, and I believe I mentioned this to you when I was talking to you on the IG message. I believe that the emphasis needs to be heavily on conditions of our children.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, there are those of us who are, you know, involved in public school, and those of us who are talking about homeschooling. You know, how should we deal with this regarding the education?
Okay. First thing we're going to deal with is this. This needs to be in every household. This needs to be in every household. And let me get on some people about this homeschooling, because the people who are running their mouth about homeschooling before, I'm quite sure after a whole year and a half, you want your babies back in the classroom, because there are people like me in there. And how you find out is that you don't just drop your kids off or send them to the bus. You have to have yourself in there. You have to be on the PTA or whatever they call it, PTSA or whatever it is. You have to come up there and do visits, come up there and see what your child is eating. Okay. Yeah. So why I picked up this book is because our father here, he talked about education. He talked about reading. You don't have to wait till they get to school to read. They can be reading in the house. They can write mama's grocery list out. That's reading and writing. There are so many ways to tackle that. We are going to stay in the school system, and because there's more than enough of us in there. And let me tell you, as a Black educator working with Black educators in a public school system, I am the odd man out. This is me in the meetings. Okay, this is me looking at Black women. Hold on, let me break it down to you. This is me. You talk about education. There are children that don't want to come to school because of the way that they're treated. I'm talking about when you're in the cafeteria getting ready to eat, and you can't just go over there and open up a baby's a package, and then in 10 minutes you tell them to throw everything out because it's time to go back to the classroom. See, so when we have to check our own people and settle that first, and then we can go out and branch into everything else. But there's more than enough educators, doctors, masters, whatever we have, We can build the nation with what we have already. We already have the talent. We're going to stay there. And we're going to stay there because we pay those monies for them to go there.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's a way around that too. Because if you're going to do homeschooling, there are monies that are allocated to that to educate our children. Or you just go reach out to your Black sister teachers and let's get it cracking. Okay, so that's what we need to do. I cringe when I think of removing them from the systems and things of that nature. We need to go in and take back what is ours. We need to go back and take it. Okay, there's a way to do it. I fight every day. I fight every day in my tone and everything, how I speak, how I advocate for my children, how I check parents when I see things, especially in this virtual learning center. You know, we need to tighten up too. You know, and everything that I'm saying out of my mouth has to do with black, 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 black. I haven't started on the white yet. So we need to tighten up our framework here first. I'm very passionate about the children. You know, when I was graduating from high school, and Mount Vernon High School, Mount Vernon, New York, you had to go to your counselor. And what my counselor said to me, I told her I wanted to be a teacher. And she told me that I could work in the cafeteria and be with children. She sure did. And I didn't get my teaching license until I was 40. So the seed that she planted, so slick, that I eventually came to my calling, but I went through so much with that in my mind. As strong as I am, I never forgot what she said to me. And I plant seeds in my children every day. They know that they are scholars. They think they're the best first graders in the world. They think they're the top first grade class. You can't tell them nothing different. And when I go to my award ceremonies and when I get my data, it shows. So this is what we have to do. And I'm staying in my lane. I'm staying in my lane of education and of with children, and not just the babies. I've been from pre-K to high school, all of them, from special education to general education. I have over maybe 500 babies that have passed through my doors, and they have been well educated. My special needs children do not sit at home rocking in a chair. They are working at Andrews Air Force Base and any other place that they can get in and get a job and plus get their benefits. So we are going to do what we need to do. It can be done. Some of us are better talkers than others in the sense of we're going to walk in there and say what we want to say and walk right out. Okay. So I'm optimistic. I'm happy. I want the emphasis for our children needs to go back to the math and the sciences because that's what we come from. And this is purposeful that we have been deterred from that. Asians are not the best in math. They just promote them as such. Everybody took a piece of what we had and they carved it up like it was, and we just gonna take it all back. Am I cut off because I see major?
No, I did that by
accident. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna get some water because I'm getting ready to get riled up in here.
Here's the thing. I gotta bring this one to our dear sister, Star Channel 7. Peace and blessings to your sister.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm just taking it all in. I love being with my people, man. So I'm in a good place. Yes, sir.
Now, let me see here. I want to ask you, this is kind of off the stuff of the education side, but I want to ask you, how aware are you of global events, things that are going on abroad?
Yeah, it used to be a part of my job. So, working in federal government and intel community and all of that stuff. So it's just a part of my life. I don't listen to, I don't get my news from social media. I don't get my news from CNN or MSNBC. I read global newspapers. I read global, I look at global news stations, Al Jazeera, BBC, all of them, because I want to get those different perspectives. And so I've lived in Australia. I've lived in Hawaii. I've lived in England. I've lived around the world in Italy. And so the perspective that I got always from about the United States and things that were going on here was always very jaded. And then when I came back here, everybody thought this was the best place in sunshine. So that's a lot. Yeah. So I make sure.
On that, I can recall my experience when I was in Djibouti and watching the network there, and a lot of I could see the difference in censorship
and I was able to realize just how much is censored over here. I mean, for example, you mentioned Al Jazeera, and I don't know if you've ever noticed the comparison between Al Jazeera abroad and Al
Jazeera US. Yes.
English.
Yeah, I have.
And I'm pretty sure you see the big difference on what is presented to the public. I mean, really, a lot of the information that's broadcast over here is so much dumbed down.
Yeah.
We don't even get crumbs some other times when it comes to knowing what's going on in the world. Now,
when you really think about it, you have to look at the region that you're getting your news source from and what the laws are there and how they, how much freedom they have in terms of what they can put in the media, what they can absorb, and everything is controlled. The whole world media is controlled by corporations. So you have to take what you can get and decipher based on common sense, what you can decipher out of it, but always be in the know. That's kind of my take on it.
Yes, understood. So let me ask you this, okay? Because what I'm trying to get at with my question is the effect of global events abroad upon the Black community here in the U.S. of A. So, for example, yesterday I read a report about 2 Iranian ships approaching Venezuela. Right? You heard about that?
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm asking is, when you think about, what's going on in Russia, the posturing that's taking place there, the demonstrations, the military demonstrations going on in China. You understand the different things? What effect do you think that has in the Black community, and why would you, if you agree, why would you say that it's important for us to be aware of all these type of global events?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, brother. I think it's important for us to be aware because we are what make the world move. The melanated population in this world is utilized by everybody else as a source of wealth. We're used as a source of resources. Our continent has been taken over by all of these people. And so when the world is at war, they're at war with us because we are the resources that they're going to use to meet the objectives that they have to meet in that war, i.e., they need bodies. Our strength in numbers, they're using our using us genetically as guinea pigs. Everything that happens in the world is our existence impacts everything that happens in the world. And if we don't understand that, we're just like skin that falls off. And so we need to get out of that mindset of being the skin that falls off and being the skin that makes the world. We need to flip that thing around. We need to understand that we make the world move. Melanin makes the world move. And so until we gain that power and we unite, we're going to be like skin that falls off and another one will just be born and the world will just continue to use us the way that they do.
Okay.
Can I add to that?
Yeah,
We also have to be aware that there are Black people all around this world. In every country that you named, there's a Black person there. So
That's
we
right.
are everywhere. Do you hear me?
Okay.
So if we unify, boom. Yes, go ahead.
Let me ask you this then.
Yes.
Since you bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's bring this back home again.
Okay.
Just yesterday, I read yet another report. A 12-year-old girl who was shot simply while walking in her own neighborhood. And then days before that, a man was found with a bullet to the head, lying on the sidewalk. Okay, these are our own, people that have met this situation.
Mm-hmm.
How can we get the message that shooting our own needs to be off limits? What can we do to make this like a prominent Black code in the community, so that way this is one less thing we have to focus on? How can we bring this about?
Okay. I'm going to say this first off. in America is the only place that I'm seeing stuff like that happen. It doesn't usually happen like that. There are killings, but not so much as black on black killings as in America, because you have to understand, America has the guns. So people, these young dudes with the guns or whoever is doing the shooting. Now, what I'm seeing that is becoming lifted up in America is their own the black people are patrolling their areas. That needs to happen. I'm seeing some pockets of organizations that are patrolling their areas to make sure stuff like that doesn't happen. It's you can't be everywhere at one time, but they have to change the mindset. A lot of people don't fight anymore. You know, back in the day, people used to just fight. You have an argument with somebody, you fist fight. We'll get whoever got their ass whooped. Okay, it's over with and done with. Now people don't fight.
They
They
just
take out
shoot.
a gun and shoot. Like, I'm in Canada. We don't have the right to bear arms. Although maybe some people have them. Okay, but it's, we don't have it as much. But you're not going to see a lot of people shooting each other because they're just in the street. Boom, they don't like somebody, or somebody run down the street. Boom, you don't see that. And I'm going to say this also.
Yeah.
We in Canada, us in Canada, don't see a lot what's going on in America. So we are shielded by what's going on. I see it because I know a lot of Americans and my channel. I see it. But we don't see that here.
Yeah.
No. But to address your question, yes, I believe in order to change it, we have to have boots on the ground. Those brothers, I'm seeing it happen now. Brothers in Chicago, boots on the ground, taking care of their neighborhood. I see OC taking care of his neighborhood. I see people taking care of their neighborhood. That's where we got to start. Yeah.
Okay. Well spoken. OCTheGreat. Speaking of OC, peace and blessings once again.
Yes, sir.
So the other day, I was watching the old video that I think was broadcast about a week ago, and I'm not going to announce the name of the show, but I'm just describe the events that I was observing. We had a young man, very intelligent and very active about his political views. Okay, you had at that time, respected elder and talk show host, a very popular talk show host. And the essence of what I got out of the whole show, if I could know if there was something that I could expect, was the elder belittling the intellect of the young man. Okay, young man showed his powers through and through during the whole talk show. It may have been something that the elder disagreed with, but the young man stood his ground and basically demonstrated, his learning of, his views. So much so that he was able to speak it and articulate it without any real, hang-up or hiccup. So what I'm trying to figure out here is, the outcome of that. Let me continue on. The outcome of that has been that particular elder has received a lot of backlash from the young community. So because of how he had treated this young lady, it was visible abroad. And the backlash kind of showed me it was kind of reversed where we're taught to respect our elders, right? In this case, it was as if the elder refused to acknowledge that this generation is taking on tools, taking on a learning, and causing them to think genuinely. Okay, how can we bridge the gap that's being caused between the elders who may have wisdom? Because perhaps the elder was seeing something that the young man didn't see or couldn't see, or maybe the elder didn't understand. Because sometimes, elders don't know the latest. You understand? They don't know. So they're only speaking based upon the background that they came with. They came up with. And here's this young man with some new tools that the elder wasn't hip to. And so it's kind of off guard. It's kind of off guard that the youth was able to respond to his challenges intelligently. How do we bridge this gap between the elders and the youth?
so that we can bring it, because that's, to me, that's also essential to the unification. How do we bridge the gap?
Yeah, so my opinion on that, because I actually have worked in the educational system for quite a while now. Just to answer the sister's question, I actually I did an after school program. I've been doing that for about, I would say, off and on for about 10 years or a little over 10 years. I also worked about a couple of years with SSD, Special School District. But also, even currently today, I work on side of a nonprofit organization where we basically are able to go into different schools and teach whatever curriculum that we want. So of course there are certain curriculums that we want to teach for an hour or so. And then of course also have an after school program still, which we incorporate sports and different, really our own curriculum even then. So as far as the children learning a little case Swahili, we do that, learning about Marcus Garvey or anything. We'll slide that in there when it comes to that, and then put something that they really want. It's just like kind of sneaking information in. While playing basketball, or sneaking information in while playing soccer, and different things or different games. But anyway, for some reason, us as a people, I feel like a lot of our elders kind of gave up on the youth, and then the youth kind of really gave up on the elders. So I think what it is being able to, we need to get back to learning from each other, because our elders, for some reason, they just like these youngsters, they don't know what they doing. See, way back in the day, I used to da, 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 so, and then same with the youngsters, they like, hey, these old people, they don't know what they talking about, man. I'd rather do it this way. It's We're talking about two different generations. So I feel like if we combine the generation and be able to learn from each other, that's really the best thing that we can do as people in general. Like we could really go to another level, because the the new generation, they know some stuff. They know a lot of things that we don't know, that we not hip to. They born in an age. Well, I'm an '80s baby. And I was born in a time where um I was born in a time where it was in the beginning of all technology. I remember seeing a typewriter. Then right after a typewriter, I remember seeing a computer, the green screen computer, Macintosh, stuff like that. The what you call it, the IBMs and all of that. You know what I mean? So I seen like all the technology. Of course, someone older than me is not used to that. So guess what? I should be able to teach the elder some about technology, and they could be able to teach me some of the wisdom and some of the other things that they learned in their time. You know what I'm saying? So, there's that. I feel like that's the best way to bridge the gap, is to be willing and be open and willing to teach each other. So the elder has to. I mean, back in the day, even in the '90s, I used to see. I lived in a type of neighborhood. It was a Crip neighborhood, gang related, where we had a few different OGs, things like that. But the OGs was able to talk to some of the youngest, you know what I mean? And the youngest were able to accept the OG, like, OG, what should I do in this situation? What should I do about this and that? You know what I mean? And then, the youngster is able to tell the OG, well, here's what's going on today. It's way different from back then. So I feel like that's really the best way, is to be able to learn from each other in many different ways. You know what I'm saying? And just
Let me get in.
I
I
say,
need to
King,
get
I
in a
say,
little
can
bit.
I,
Let me get in a
wait,
little bit.
one more thing.
Mhm.
One of the things that I think separates our young people and our old people now is that a lot of our old people never really had any power, and any little power that they gained in this jacked up system, they're holding on to it so tight.
Listen.
We get in.
Our last feed is pausing. It's not like a time frame, but hold on. I'm gonna try to refresh it so we can continue on. Hold your thought. Hold your thought. Right?
yeah. See.
Peace and blessings, viewers on Sojourn of Life. Hang tight. We're going to have a quick break. We'll be back in a minute. I got to make sure that our visuals are refreshed. Just hang tight, and we'll be live once again. Hang tight. Yeah, exactly. Because they. Mm-hmm. So let's do that. All right. Mm-hmm. All right. So we're going to work with this live like we have it right here. I was just trying to see if Major and them was back in the room, but I know he's on the road. So we're going to try to wind down here. And let me just make sure they didn't just show up. Hmm. Yeah, because the only way I can see is right now I'm using an external or not external but a URL based OBS system to do this. I had to think fast, and this was the solution. Okay, yeah, improvise. And this is kind of what I mean. This is what I was kind of trying to explain earlier. You know, I'm working with the resources that I have. You understand? To try to achieve a means to bring about us all communicating together in a similar arena, in a similar room, a similar atmosphere, so we can all be on the same page. We're all communicating the same communication, and so on. I just think that's important. So let's see here. You just asked me a question. I think that came from Veronica. The website. Okay, I'm gonna put it in the chat panel here so that everybody can see it. 1 second here. I just did what I didn't want to do. So let's do this. So for all those who are in the live, go ahead and check this out. You can see this little thing going on here. I'm going to type it like this so everybody can see it. That's the website. Boom. All right. All right. So I just have a few other questions to ask. The steams kind of went down a little bit, so we won't badger the family too much longer. Let me bring this to anybody who wants to answer the question. Okay. We have seen over the past months, more so last year, the impressive unifying feats of the black militia known as the NFAC. I myself had the honor of not only meeting with some of the brothers and sisters who are members, but also the Supreme Leader himself, Grandmaster Jay. By what the brother had to say and my impression of meeting with those brothers and sisters increased nothing but respect and honor in my heart regarding them. Okay, there we go. Well, I was definitely moved and further motivated to the importance of why we need a black militia. But I want your opinion. In your opinion, this is a threefold question. A, why is a black militia ever more important to us in our time? B, what makes there being one essential to the black community? And C, what can the NFAC do to become more effective among the family structure and, more importantly, our youth? Or do you consider that the efforts of the NFAC are what they need to be as it is now? Anyone can answer that question or those questions. So I can start with, let's start with Okodi. Okay. Yes. Yes. Hmm.
Protecting any new development that we may aspire to build. Never again is what I witnessed when I was out in Tulsa last week. Never again is what the sentiment of the new Black Panthers was, and all the other gun clubs was feeling. That was the sentiment. And so that's the major difference between the opportunity that was present back then and the opportunity that's present right now. As the Emas so eloquently said, we all have talent. And if we can come together in unity and build on those talents collectively for the better good of our communities in each city in these United States of America, then, you know, if we can build off that, and then we have a sound militia to protect those individual communities that we build, I think we're standing a winning chance. Scriptures say that we will walk out of these United States of America with substance. And so how are we gonna get out of here with that substance if we don't build anything? You know, I tend to believe on this Sabbath evening that the Most High is waiting on us.
Yes.
That's why we can't get out of this diaspora, because the Most High is waiting on us. So that's my take on why we need a militia to help protect what we're about to build, because I do believe we can do it.
Okay. You want to add anything to that, Star Chanel?
Yeah, spot on, Sister Cody. I, you know, we as a people, America has been at war with us since we stepped foot in this wilderness. So basically, for us to not, you know, for them to have created this fear within us about guns, you know, even in my own family, I witness. Now, I can take them apart. I can, you know, I carry. So in my own family, I have people like, ooh, a gun, you know, people running. Religion has created a fear around our ability and our desire to protect ourselves. Religion, Christianity has basically asked the Black man and the Black woman that has been enslaved in this country to just lay down and take it. Right. And so until we get out of that mindset of not wanting to protect ourselves, our brothers and sisters are going to continue to kill each other. Our Black people are going to continue to kill each other because in their mind, the psyche of America has led them to believe that they don't care about us. Why should we care about ourselves? Right. And so I think empowerment comes when we, like Grandmaster Jay, when he stood up and people started standing up. The empowerment comes when we start to say, okay, I can do this. I should be protecting myself. I need to be protecting my brothers and my sisters. And so that resonates with our young people. And at some point, they're going to come to their senses and say, I can't kill my brother because I need him in my army. I need him as a part of the coalition that's protecting the castle of melanin that we need to protect in this wilderness. So I think it's kind of twofold. The more we start to realize and wake up that and understand that we're all we got, I think America will be the greatest fear that they will ever encounter, and that's just my belief. But we're gonna get there. I believe we're gonna get there. The awakening is happening.
Got a question for you. Given things that we've seen going on, killing, deaths of blacks across the land, youth, grown adults, and children even. What fears, if you have any, what fears might you have, being that you're a mother of three? What concern might you have, and what concern might you have regarding their safety and well-being as they grow up in this world? If there was something the Black community could do that would make you feel better about the safety of your children, what would it be? What could the Black community do to make you feel safer regarding your children?
Well, it's just that if we were more like a community, because it's like we're not really, we don't know each other. Nobody knows each other. That's what the problem is.
So, what would help us to know each other better?
Well, I think if there was a little bit more trust,
A little more trust, you said?
yes. Yeah.
So, did you want to say something?
Yeah, that was it. Just they need more trust.
And I think one of the things that would help with that trust, because I think the reason why we're having trust issues in the community is because as a people we've been through so many things within the fold and without. You understand? We've been through so many issues where we've been betrayed by our own, and we've been betrayed by the opponents, the enemies, in such a way that just when we thought we were getting somewhere, somebody who's supposed to be on the same team ends up finding out that they weren't. Marcus Garvey was making all kinds of gains, and all the while, other prominent Black figures was breaking them down and tearing them down. You understand?
You know, like I was mentioning, people lift up E.B. Du Bois, but he was one of the prominent opponents against Charles Marcus Garvey.
Yeah.
And one of the key outspoken speakers that his words aided into breaking Charles down. You understand? If one's like him were either not in the picture or were on the same page, truthfully, we might be living in Libya right now. Or not Libya, but Liberia. Because Liberia, there was a major connection going on. So, you know, I simply want to say this to the Black family. I'm going to wind this down with a few speeches. I want to first of all thank all of our guests that came on the panel. K Money, make sure you go and check out her YouTube channel. She is active in the community. She's always bringing to us inspiring music and things to talk about. Of course, you want to definitely check out Brother Nature TV. Let's Talk. That's his YouTube channel. He, like I said, he brings it very straightforward. He's a very straightforward brother, as you've seen, even on our live. He definitely tells you what's on his mind. You also have Achotispeaks. Make sure you go ahead. She's been working with Major TV, I believe, and also she's presented on Soul Journey of Life, her podcast, her daily podcast. Make sure you check that out with her. We definitely want to make sure you check out OCTheGreat channel on YouTube because he's definitely a heavy brother. He definitely lays it down deep. We want to be involved with supporting the cause of each one of us. We want to definitely be, where, like my dear wife said, we don't know each other. You understand? We don't know each other in a way that we should. And part of that is what has aided into the distrust. See, when you know one another better, then those trustworthy become known. There are many brothers and sisters that aren't known that if they were, you understand, we would have a greater trust. So we definitely need to increase the trust. I emphasize that the family, the Black family, is the core to this. Is the core to this. Let me put this on here. I emphasize that the Black family is the core to this. And I'm just switching mics.
And I'm going to quote something that I saw on IG, posted by African Unification. Pardon me here, because I want to make sure that the mic isn't echoing. The way your family turns out does affect me. Community is all of us. Selfishness says to each his own. I'm quoting African Unification. Beloved Black family, again, like I said, I appreciate all those who came live, and I hope that we can continue building and not just building on these live talks, but we can actively interact with each other and do more. You understand? It will be a blessing to the Black family if we started doing more actions amongst each other that continue on the inspiration that you found in ones like Grandmaster Jay and the NFAC. You understand? We need more. We need more evidence that we're alive, that we live here, and that we really want Black unification. You understand? And that evidence is going to come in what we do actively. You understand? Supporting Soul Journey of Life by what? By simply communicating, by simply showing up and checking in with the family and letting each one of us know that you're alive. You understand? What am I saying? We're checking in on each other. We're checking on each other. And we're making sure the family knows that we are okay ourselves. So, the whole purpose of lives like this, the whole purpose of trying to have this panel at all, is because many of the people you've seen on these lives have either been communicating with me through IG or on YouTube. And as I said, many of them you've seen on YouTube, persistent, consistent in their activity in the Black community. It doesn't stop there. That's not where, our bottom line is at. Our bottom line is in each one of us doing something. You understand? That's our bottom line. Soul Journey of Life is simply meant to be a platform for us to come together and express that bottom line, express to each other what we hope to achieve. Imagine, for example, this is just a suggestion, and I mentioned this many, many videos ago. We were to select a location wherever. Let's say it's Cleveland, Ohio. We find a park, or an open area. Invite the family wherever you are in the USA, those who are able to travel, to come together with your goods to sell, come together with your vendor's license and all your vendor's items. Come together if you got music, if you're a performance artist, come together. And let us communicate and let us do something actively together. We need to present our protesting amongst ourselves. We need to communicate to ourselves so that we hear. We're the people that need to hear our complaints. We're the people that need to hear our cry. We're the people that need to hear our pain. You understand? It does us no good to scream at a wall, expecting it to bring us some type of remedy. We have people who are learning herbology. We have people who are educators. We have people who are involved in real estate and economics and so on. Why aren't we together? Why every time we communicate, it's hard for us to reach out for each other? I'm appreciative and I feel honored that each one of these members were able to communicate with me. But you'd be surprised at how hard it is to communicate with one another. There's been people who I invited to the show, but yeah, we're busy. But we need to make time for each other. You understand? We need to make time for each other so that way we could be on the same page. Yes, indeed. Wherever you are, Black family, let's make time to be together, to do together in order to unify. That's really, that's really the essence of what I have to say. We've been talking about this for months and months and months, man. And I feel the frustration from everybody that's talked on the panel. I feel the concerns. But we need to make this happen to where we're doing more than just talking. Much respect to Major, who does more than just talk, who went down and supported the brother. Much respect for OC, who went over there to Tulsa, I'm sorry, and made his presence there. Much respect to all those about the Black unity, you understand, and who've been doing things as well as speaking about it. And some people haven't spoken, but have been more doing. Respect and honor to all those people, wherever you are. With that said, We can try to fit this within the time frame that we are now. And, I would encourage you to support the platform. The Cash App is $ the Light Dome. Like I said, any improvement that we want to see in the family depends on us. If you want a better barbershop, you need to go in there and get your hair cut. If you want a better marketplace, black owned, you need to go there and buy their fruits and produce. If you want a better radio talk show, you need to support the host. If you want a better social media platform, we need to invest. You understand? All this that the black community is offering us, for us, by us, it needs our support. We need to take our, our $1 trillion or whatever we're spending on white businesses and other people's businesses. We need to invest it upon ourselves and make it a point. That's all there is to it. Yes, indeed. Someone is saying, let's set a date. We need to have a date. That's one of the things I would have liked to present it to that panel is let's set a date where we meet and not just talk about the idea and the hope of meeting, but let's actually meet. There's some areas in Cleveland, Ohio that I know about that people gather. We will simply have to, communicate with the right folks to hold down the spot. Let's see here. Today is the 4th of June. The 20th of June is on Sunday. Is that too soon? That's about 2 weeks from now. If that's too soon, then we can move on to the next month. All the same, we need to have a date that we can agree upon and enough time to gather whatever resources you need. Your vendors' goods. Start printing your business cards. If you got t-shirts to sell, whatever you're doing. Perfumes, colognes, garbs. Bring all that. Bring your mic. Bring your instrumentals so you can rock the mic a little bit. Bring your grills. Bring your whatever we need. We need to talk together. Bring it to the Soul Journey of Life platform. Let us go there and talk about what we're going to do and how we want to get this down. So that way we can do more. The NFAC has shown up, has demonstrated, has manifested the strength of the black community. The strength to stand up for what's right, to stand up for our rights, and the strength to be about more than just talk. Now, those of us elsewhere in the community, we need to continue on standing up. We need to continue on this effort to bring about that black unity. Let's see here. So somebody is saying in the chat that the 20th of June is too soon. So how about the 20th of July? That's 2 whole months away. The 20th of July. We can call this the Soul Journey of Life gathering, the Black We Speak gathering, the Light Dome gathering. We can name it what we want, but the whole purpose is for us to come together. You understand? To get up off our couch, to get out behind our desk, and show and prove that we're still about this black unity. Let's stop just talking about it. Let's stop waiting around for something fancy to happen and keep on doing things. You understand? We need to keep on doing things. Keep on being active. Keep on showing ourselves. You understand? If we, it's not always about bearing arms. We have enough demonstration. We have the NFAC. We have all the other brothers and sisters rocking the arms. But we also need to represent the education. We also need to represent the building up of the black community. We also need to represent the need to be a unified nation. Where is this nation? Let us come out wherever we are. Come to a common location. Cleveland, Ohio. Let's bring it together. So I will, I'm looking at the chat here. Keep on communicating here on another live and see what we could do that we can agree upon. You understand? Drop your communication. Let's find out what we can agree upon, and let's go from there. You understand? All we need to do is drop a date. Then we start from dropping the date to start dropping what are we going to do? Events. And then be adamant about showing up. I don't want to be in some open area all by myself like, oh, dad going. Where's the black family at? You understand? I understand we might have to say, okay, if it's at 5 o'clock, we really mean 7 o'clock. You know how we are. But at least we showing up, right? So let it be what it be, black family. We'll keep on talking about this. We keep on talking about it until it manifests, until it actually happens. We just have to keep on talking about it, drive it in until family says, oh, you got a point. Let's pack up and go to Cleveland, Ohio and make this thing happen. Let's do something that benefits the family. Okay? Let's do it. We might even call it the Just Be Black Get Together. How about that? The Just Be Black Get Together. Simple. Nothing too catchy, nothing too fancy. The Just Be Black Get Together. July 20th. The Just Be Black Get Together. Mark that on your calendars. Cleveland, Ohio. Location to be announced. We start there. And by doing this, we'll begin to prove. I'm not concerned that we're proving to the world anything right now. I want us to prove to ourselves that we're alive, that we're more than just about talk, and that at moment's notice, we can unify. Plain and simple. Even for something like this. July 20th, Cleveland, Ohio, specific location to be announced. Stay tuned. All right? The Just Be Black Get Together. And with that said, we're going to go ahead and tap out of this live. Like I said, support Soul Journey of Life. And in fact, if you want to be fancy, go ahead and support Soul Journey of Life so that I can get together, what I can to make this happen. Because, that means I've got to do some research. I got to look into, the bylaws or whatever of this city so that we can do this. And of course, if we do this, like I said, vendors, music, I'm going to have to rock the mic, right? Okay. So I'm just letting you know, that means I'm inviting Boss Man Blake. I'm inviting, the legend. You understand? All y'all able to come, get it together. July 20th. It's on a Tuesday. Okay. I mean, it is what it is. We got to make that our own holiday. Self-determination, right? Self-determination. Don't let them determine what day is good for us. Let us determine what day is good for us. Self-determination. That's how you start manifesting the qualities of nationhood, is when we start determining our own events as a nation, not pending someone else's approval. This is us. This is for us. This is about us. Plain and simple. So the Just Be Black Get Together. July 20th. Cleveland, Ohio. We could do this. We could do this. Especially if you want to see a brother on a mic. All right. So with that said, this is your brother Abdul Wadud, making sure that I'm keeping the family up to date, and all I have to offer from this point off is my peace, love, and respect for the black family. Stay strong. Keep this together. Why is this important? Before I go, let me explain to you why this is important. Because the more we do actively, the more we remain inspired. See, I'm not waiting for Juneteenth or this day, that day. We're going to do our Juneteenth. We're going to do all of our black events that we already do. But I'm saying we manifest something of our own. You understand? Where we're saying, this is what we did. We didn't wait for you to put something on the calendar and say, okay, this is your holiday that we approve of you. But we're saying, this is what we're doing on behalf of our own approval. We're not asking anybody permission to gather together and do what we do. We're giving ourselves permission. Period. So help us the Most High, the Supreme. That's what this is about. Self-determination, black family. Self-determination. The more you start manifesting self-determination and say, I'm doing this because I have a divine right to do it, then so be it. Okay. Now I gotta go. I believe I've covered everything that we need to say and that we needed to understand and that we needed to deal with. I'm hoping that this broadcast went through clean and that everything was heard as best as it could. And I'm hoping that the black family is inspired to really make these things happen. Because I'm telling you, man, I'm so tired of just sitting and all we get to do is hear good YouTube lectures and stuff and then that be that. It can't be, we can't be that simple. We got to be the type of people that if we say, hey, we're going to meet at this location, we show up. No matter what, staying on a black code. We can't just be people that talk or just get emotional and things. We got to be people that are serious. So July 20th would be our opportunity again to prove it. How about that? Okay? Peace and blessings, black family. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Hotep. Nothing but love and blessings. Nothing but love and respect. Okay.
In this life we have only one try. Only one try.
Must have a liberation. United black committed nation. That's the situation.
Black sisters to the right, black brothers to the left. Original cold black fist against my chest. Brave, bold, and cold, they be the warriors. Salute to the soldiers, salute to the soldiers. Black unity, black family. It's time for you and me to start the gathering. Just be black, unite, we clap black. Little slack and low to stay on cold, gotta have that. NFAC operation, nation fit. United black persons looking in its sense. All for the pride of the people, breaking the chains of the evil. Devil is dust, the well is your hair, the bronze of your skin from the head to the feet. 1 million strong black soldiers in the streets, unpassive in the west, setting in the east. The God of my chest against the mark of the beast. 1 million strong, be all I need to speak. We all we need, the power of God is unity. 1 million strong, come together. 1 million, we got to get together. 1 million, we come together. 1 million strong, it's all water. Come together. 1 million, we got to get together. 1 million, we come together. 1 million strong, it's all water. Come together. 1 million, we got to get it together. 1 million, we come together. 1 million strong, have a smile of Fear no evil, the God be amongst his people. Remove all labels, the black nation, all equal. Consider this table black scholars. We sit to the Greek angels, from my angels. Ignite the flames of history, next all angels. Speak comparable to those mentally stable. Once was mighty evil, known as the chop down. Forgot the mighty tree had keys who broke and reclaimed the ground. If we thought we'd stay asleep, chest move family, keep it their island beasts. Get off that mountain, go and tell it out the street. West man, the light stains on his feet. Nobody move, nobody make a sound. 1 million strong, standing on sacred ground. Another 1 million armed just in case it goes down. You can, baby, pass it all around. 1 million strong, come together. 1 million, we got to get it together. 1 million, we come together. 1 million strong, it's all water. Come together. 1 million, we got to get it together. 1 million, we come together. 1 million strong, it's all water. Together, 1 million, we got to get it together. 1 million, we come together. 1 million, have a smile of come together, we got to get it together. We come together, to have a smile upon her. Come together.